That's me, the confused-looking American in a sea of Japanese people. As a foreigner, or gaijin as the locals would call me, it's pretty easy to get lost walking through the streets of Tokyo, especially if you're looking for a place to perform stand-up comedy. And ironically, it's at this point in my life that I decide to finally pursue my dream of becoming a stand-up comedian. But why am I so compelled to do stand-up? How can I do it in Japan? I don't know anything about Japanese comedy. I don't speak the language. Where would I begin to look, even? Google.
Works is if you want to do comedy here in Tokyo, you get in touch with me. You say, hey, can I do 5 minutes? I say, sure. You come up here, you do 5 minutes, and see if you've got what it takes to make people laugh. That's what these guys who are about to get up on stage are going to do for you now. So let's welcome all the way from beautiful Los Angeles, our first comedian of the new year. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian. Give it up for Brian.
I'm going to look at my notepad to see what's going on next in my life.
How do you think you did? Fair.
Okay, well, we're just going to keep going along then. Why don't we get on somebody who's funny?
Not everybody realizes stand-up comedy is something you have to learn. Believe it or not, that funny guy in your office would probably have bombed his first time just like I did.
Hi.
Tie that in with the fact that you're playing to a largely Japanese audience, and you find yourself in a very precarious situation. Fortunately for me, the Tokyo Cynics were more than happy to lend a hand in my comedic development.
I don't want Naruto for Christmas. I want something else. Christmas need Naruto, I don't know. Something else tonight. I'd like some lasagna, ice cream with banana, 'cause I think that gaijin food's nice. Or even some jerky on a nice Christmas time.
The Tokyo Comedy Store performs in various locations throughout Tokyo, including Shibuya, an area of Tokyo famous for having the world's busiest intersection. It's also the location of a small radio station where I was invited to talk about the documentary, and stand-up comedy in general, with fellow comedian Hideya.
Which do you like, Japanese adult video or American?
Japanese culture sexually is very different from America, and it's very
日
funny
本
to
の
us.
性文化ってなんかすげえアメリカと違うから、ちょっと面白い。
You have porn vending machines.
ポルノの自動販売機あるのどういうこっちゃと。例の方とかのね。
You have vending machines with women's used panties.
うん。
Right? That's something.
うん。
We don't have that either. You guys will read porno in public.
Yeah.
You guys will be in the train, totally flipping through nudie magazines. Never in America, ever, would you be on a bus or train and just have some guy.
電車やバスでこうやって偉そうに座ってポルノ雑誌。これはなんかすごいね。
That's my stuff. Do you want to read this?
Can you introduce the number of music number? Say.
Japanese most famous artist.
Let's go.
I am a superstar. I already know. I already know. I already know. I already know. Magical music. I am a superstar. I already know. I already know. I already know. I already know. Magical music.
Things that were different, you know, it's weird. When you first come to Japan, I think you notice all of the different things on a very kind of superficial level. The buildings are structured a different way. The taxi cabs, the doors open up without you pushing them. You can buy beer and whiskey in a vending machine, you know, that kind of stuff. And I think after about 6 months of living here, you kind of think, no, those are only superficial things. Actually, underneath, people are all the same. And then after another 6 months, you start to think, no, actually, Japanese people are different. Like you know, it's a different culture. They have a different way of thinking. Different things are important to them. I think they have a different set of priorities, slightly, than Americans. Cloudy was one of the first comedians, stand-up comedians, with the Comedy Store. Cloudy's a mystery. I don't know that much about Cloudy. He's from Australia. He's very funny. He's very talented. I know he works with a group called World Family, where they do kids shows with puppets and different things, and he travels all over Japan on the weekends doing shows for little kids, and he does stand-up comedy at the Comedy Store. But he's always wearing dark glasses, and he's always in really flamboyant costumes. He lives his character. He walks around with a vacuum cleaner as a pet that he's literally taken all over the world. He got a passport for it. So, a very interesting guy.
Eric, the vacuum cleaner, is a legend. I'm quite happy that the Western culture will never completely take over the Japanese culture. The Japanese culture is so strong, and as a group, as a force, they're awesome. Individually, they're completely meek and mild, and it's a kind of a thread that runs through the whole culture. Individually, they have manners, they're polite, they will go out of their way to take you to somewhere where they weren't going to go, which we won't. We will push you aside in a New York minute, as it's come to, or a Sydney minute, or a Bombay minute, or a London minute it's become. We can't be bothered, but they will actually go out of their way because they consider you as a foreigner, a customer and a guest.
The entertainment industry in Japan is very similar to the golden era of the American film industry, where studios had exclusive contracts with their actors and they could only act in that studio's productions. Yoshimoto is a Japanese talent agency that not only represents most of Japan's comedic talent, but also owns and operates several of its own television studios where its talent performs. So Japanese comedy is heavily influenced by one agency, which doesn't really feel the need to experiment with new styles of comedy from other cultures like America. But where does Japan get its comedic style? Where does any culture for that matter?